What's poppin', homies? It's your favorite homegirl, Gossip Girl, and today I want to talk about Barbara Walters. Now, yesterday I was on a live stream. Three things happened while I was on that live stream. My homegirl Kim sent me a message saying Barbara Walters passed away. At the same time, I got a notification on my phone saying Barbara Walters passed away, and then it was announced in Tiara Latrice live stream that Barbara Walters had passed away. And it all happened at the same time, which I thought was crazy. So it was kind of late and I didn't want to talk about it yesterday, but I'm talking about it today before I get into my content. Barbara Walters passed away at 93 years old. 93. 93. It's sad, that she's gone, but she lived a long life. She lived a long life. So let's get into Barbara Walters. Barbara Walters, the pioneering TV broadcaster who blazed a trail for women in a male-dominated medium, died Friday. She was 93 years old. Her death was confirmed by her representative, Cindy Berger, who said Walters died peacefully in her home, surrounded by loved ones. She lived her life with no regrets, Berger said. She was a trailblazer, not only for female journalists, but for all women. Now, ABC, the network where she last worked, aired a special report Friday night announcing Walters' death and reflecting on her career. Bob Iger, CEO of Walt Disney Company, parent of ABC, said in a statement, Walters died Friday evening at her New York City residence. He called her a pioneer not just for women in journalism, but for journalism itself. Walters was also known in recent years as the co-creator and the matriarch of the hit ABC daytime show The View, but older viewers remember her as the first female anchor of a network news program and a preeminent interviewer on television. She earned that reputation with a penchant for meticulous preparation, whether she was interviewing divas, models, or murderers. I do so much homework. I know more about the person than he or she knows about themselves, Walters said in a 2014 television special. The drive proved essential to her success when she broke into the business in 1961 as a writer on NBC's Today Show. The idea of a woman sitting down and interviewing a sitting president on primetime network television, which she did just over a decade later, seemed more fantasy than reality in an industry dominated by men like Edward Murrow and Walter Cronkite. She was playing in a field that was such an old boys network, literally and figuratively, and she didn't take no for an answer. Robert Thompson, director of Blair's Center for Television and Popular Culture at Syracuse University, told NBC News before Walters' death. At some point, the things that had been a liability for her, being a woman trying to get a foothold in a male-dominated industry, began to become more of an asset, Thompson said. She was smart and prepared, but at the same time, she came across as more compassionate than her male peers. Barbara Walters proved to be the evolutionary step between Edward Murrow and Oprah Winfrey. I remember watching a lot of her interviews, and she was on it. She was on it. And I just don't understand why they think that only men could do a certain job. Journalism, that's just not for men. It's for everybody who wants to be a part of that. But it seemed like whenever there's a job that's male dominated, they give the woman a hard time. And she broke that. She broke that. I would rather It was at a point in time that I would rather hear Barbara Walters give an interview than anybody else. That was a male, you know. So Barbara Walters, she been in the business for a long time, very long time. Hmm. Inheriting her father's drive, Walters graduated from Sarah Lawrence College with a bachelor's degree in English and broke into journalism as an assistant at NBC affiliate WRCA-TV. In 1955, she married businessman Robert Henry Katz, but her first love remained her fledgling career. The couple divorced 3 years later. Hmm. Her big breakthrough came with an assessment to travel with Jacqueline Kennedy on the First Lady's trip to India in 1962 that led to more newsy pieces and a bump in his status to co-hosting responsibilities opposite Hugh Downs, though she didn't get the official title until 1974, and by that time Hugh Downs had left the network and was replaced by Frank McGee. McGee, who died shortly after being partnered with Walters, demanded that he ask 3 questions to every one of Walters' in-studio interviews. He was a real newsman, after all. So Walters started filling interviews outside the studio, quickly building a reputation as an incisive and probing questioner. In 1979, she reunited with Downs on the ABC News magazine show 2020, beginning a successful 25-year run. She was no joke, man. She was no joke. She said, "This is the job I want to do, and I'm going to get it done, and I'm going to make sure I get it." So, Barbara Walters was a real trailblazer, and may she rest in peace. And you know what? I'm going to let you guys in on a little secret. Growing up, I always wanted to be a news anchor. I did. I used to sit in my grandmother's living room with paper and pen, and I used to always act like I was either telling the weather or some news or whatever it was. But I always wanted to be a news anchor. Anyway, just wanted to share that. I will talk to you guys later.